hit the record button. Oh, one more person joining us. All right, let's go ahead and get started while the last person is joining us. Carolyn Peck, go right ahead.
Hey, Liz, you have had a phenomenal season. And Bill mentioned, though, the last two games you've been playing under the weather. I'm just wondering, how are you feeling? Are you back up to speed? Is that dominant Liz back today?
Yeah, I'm back. I ended up on an IV after the last game, but I feel a lot better, and I'm very grateful for the medical staff for looking after me and getting me through the weekend. And I just pray to God we don't have no more overtimes, because that was the last thing I needed on the weekend. But I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm ready to get out there and play tonight.
You know, at the beginning of the season, you were working and getting back into playing shape, and now you played the last two games 30 plus minutes. I mean, how does your conditioning feel?
I feel fine. You know, I'm ready to keep going all game, but I don't need to do that at the moment. I don't need to be out there for 30 unless we're going into overtime. But yeah, it just depends on the night. You know, I can be chilling. I can be in there for the whole game. It's just what we need at this point.
The first time you guys played the Sparks, Zoe B did not play. What challenges does she bring for you guys?
She's really like a stretch post. You know, she's got such a great shot from the outside, and she's physical down low. So, you know, we ended up becoming really close friends during the lockdown. But I think we're the type of player that don't mean anything on the court as well. So I'm ready to get out there and battle with her. She's a great post player.
Can I ask how you guys became such close friends during the lockdown?
We have the same agent. And, you know, during the lockdown, Amanda came to LA and started training out here early. And I was living with Allison last year during the pandemic, and this year before I headed back to Vegas. So spending a lot of time at Allison's apartment, just hanging out. Amanda and I realized we're very much alike. And now we're super close as well. You know, she's on my speed dial if I ever need a hitter out in the streets. So that's my girl now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pepper, before you ask your question, are you coming to All-Star?
We don't know yet. We didn't know about like if you have to be vaccinated or not, because I'm not old enough for any of a lot of the details. We would love to, though.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
Yeah.
We'll start working on that on our end. You out here, hopefully. Go ahead and ask your question.
All right. Hi, Liz. It's great to see you. Great to talk to you again. So with a handful of Aces players heading to Tokyo, like yourself, how do you balance, you know, being Aces teammates, but also knowing that you'll be battling in Tokyo?
I guess that's the whole league. That's the part of being a professional athlete. You know, you go up against other teammates or other friends every other night. So it just comes with the job.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pepper, you superstar.
All right. Any other hands raised for Miss Liz? Otherwise, we will swap out for Destiny Slocum. You are free to go, Liz. We will keep the camera recording while we switch everybody out. All right, Destiny, real quick, you and I were talking in the elevator today. I was curious about your academic status. Have you officially graduated yet? What's your status?
I'm working on my last elective, but technically I've graduated already. So got that master's 1 year.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let us go to Miss Anne Marie.
Wait, you told me the same thing last week, that just working on your thesis and then technically graduate. Yep. It's the same thing still going on?
Just like, so those were two of my classes, yep. And then, so pretty much finished, yes.
Okay.
It's a weird process, but yes.
Okay, just checking on that. And then for you, in terms of personal goals, where you want to improve, where are you right now?
You know, I think when it comes to just being a student of the game, I think right now especially transition from college. There's a lot of different schemes, I think, and just even late game. We were talking late game Minnesota, late game Seattle, you know, what to do, what the point guard should see, what the point guard should be saying, you know, before the coaches say that stuff. So I think improving that part of it and knowing the game to a point where it's as though, you know, I know, oh, we have to foul in this moment, you know, like this is it. So that's my kind of next step, I think.
And then we had talked before about pace as well. You had kind of said when you came in, it was one pace. You're learning from Chelsea how to adjust that. Where are you in terms of managing the pace?
I think I'm doing a lot better. I think initially when I came in, you know, push the ball, be an energy, but also knowing, you know, moments of like, okay, maybe this possession we've ran 3 times in a row. Let's slow it down. We need a bucket. Let's get a bucket. What play can we run that we're most definitely going to get a bucket off of? So I think just thinking the game like that, and I think that's why it transitions is just thinking the game a little bit more in depth.
And then you're 6 weeks into your professional career. What are your thoughts? What has it been like for you so far?
You know, I think it's been everything, you know, that I would hope it would be. It's been challenging, but it's been rewarding and fun. I think each day you come in and you learn something, and each day you learn how to be an even better professional, especially with the group of people I get to work with every day. They have so much wisdom and are so wise. And so to be able to go and learn from them each day has been certainly a blessing.
Thank you, Destiny.
Thank you.
Christopher?
Yeah, thank you for taking my question. You know, just being here in LA, obviously the Sparks have had kind of an up and down season, a lot of injuries and whatnot. But how do you kind of maintain focus against a team that's shorthanded and injury prone for these next 2 games to make sure that you guys come out on top?
You know, I think Bill tells us a lot. We're playing against ourselves each game, you know, and so each game, it's not as though we're even like playing down to anyone's level or up to anyone's level. We have to play against ourselves every day. We have to come in and be better than the time we were before, and be better than, you know, we even thought so. And so I think that's the mindset you have to have is we're playing ourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn?
Jesse, I want to go back to Anne-Marie's question. You being a rookie and watching the especially last 2 games, last game, to see how Asia and Chelsea close out a game, sitting in rookie shoes, it's more than X's and O's that those 2 bring. What is that?
It's kind of like what I talked about, knowledge, you know, they knew what we needed at the moment we needed it, right? Chelsea knew we needed her, you know, to step up and hit big buckets, and that's what she did. She also knew who we had to get the ball to in what moments, when to call her number and when not to, who to go to on defense, you know, when we needed to stop, when we had to pressure them, when we didn't. And so I think it's just knowing that time and place throughout the end of the game, especially in the 4th quarter, when it's that close to the game against such a good team.
And then in game preparation for the Sparks, what has been the main focus in your all scouting report?
Just playing against ourselves. That's what we talk about, you know, each day, you know, just coming in and wanting to be better than the game we were before, you know, and never taking a dip and never getting too high, never having too lows, you know, just staying consistent with who we are and how we play. So I think that's the big focus.
And they have 2 guards, Erica Wheeler and Taya Cooper, that have done a phenomenal job getting in the paint. What do you guys do to make sure that doesn't happen?
You know, I think challenge them to do something that, you know, they're not really, is not really their strength. You never want players to go to their strength. You always want to try to make them do something that makes them a little bit uncomfortable. And so I think that's, you know, what you always try to do against anybody's better players and who's playing well is try to make them a little bit uncomfortable. And so I think that's our goal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rashawn?
Hey, Destiny, what's it like playing for Bill Laimbeer?
I think it's really fun. I mean, I love the energy he brings. I think he's straight to the point. And sometimes, you know, a lot of people can take that pretty bad, but I appreciate it. You know, I think knowing how I can get better and knowing straight to the point of like, hey, we need you to do this. Hey, we need you to be better in this way. Or, hey, we need this from you. Or just even hearing him communicate with other players. I think I appreciate that a ton, especially as a rookie. And just the energy and the organization he runs, I think is a great area for any professional.
Before we let you go, Destiny, I know it's always difficult for rookies to come into a league, not for the basketball standpoint, but off the court. All of a sudden you have your life to yourself and it's not all laid out for you. So what have you been kind of doing in your downtime, and what else are you doing outside of basketball at this point?
You know, finishing my last class and then also working on just I love fashion, so how can I, you know, get into that realm is one of my big things. And then working with a couple companies on a couple products like DNA Vibe and also recovery boots. I love those. So working on those type of things and just putting my name out wherever I can and trying to, you know, create a good mission and influence as many young girls as I can. That's my goal.
And let's go back to Anne Marie, who I thought might have a follow-up after that.
I do. I'm just wondering how the sports management master's plays into that.
Yeah, I mean, I think my undergrad was in digital communications, so anything on the media side, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of. And then sports management as my master's, those two combined has been the most beneficial I could think of. But I think it just plays a good role of knowing the system and knowing the knowledge of the business side of everything. That, you know, we are basketball players, but we also have a brand, and so you have to use it in a wise way. So just trying to use my school and education to get me through. So that's been nice.
And you said digital communications was the undergrad?
Yep.
Okay. And you're planning long haul. You're planning post basketball life.
Absolutely.
Even as you're in your rookie year. Good for you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny. You are free to go. Let's get to the bus before Bill yells at us.
Awesome.